into it though. That's the thing is
Yeah.
like, there's so much behind the scenes you just don't know what somebody else is dealing with. And this is the thing too. I'm blessed, and I hope you are too, Izzy, where you have a supportive group of people around you. Not everybody has that. And if you don't have that, it's much harder to ask for support. So that's such an important piece. You got to find someone you feel safe to talk to. You got to. And again, easier said than done. I completely understand that.
Yeah. And I remember it was so funny because I was home. I'm from St. Louis, and I remember it was like 2016. It was like one summer, and I had some of my close friends we were all in the basement. You know, Southern people don't know nothing about basements. Like for real, they think basements are like unicorns. I remember when I first moved to Texas, and I was like, a basement. They said, "What is a basement?" I'm like,
Mm.
but anyway, so we were in the basement. I remember I told some of them, and they was just like, they was shocked. They didn't like, if they were judging, I would have known. Wouldn't have. They were more so like, I'm surprised that you would feel that way because you got all this stuff and you doing all this. So I'm surprised that you had ever even thought about that. They were shocked, and that's a lot of people. Sometimes you think people know, but they really don't. I think when my friend did it last August, I don't think none of us, saw that coming.
Yeah.
So it says, seen by many as a personal choice, suicide and suicidal behavior present many challenges for health researchers. The combination of ingrained religious attitudes, social mores, and wide variety of psychological I can't get it out, and drivers of suicidal behavior make the topic more difficult to study, and they actually are a bigger spread of more than a biological disease or viral infection at this point in time. It says, yeah, with the rising rates of suicide across the country, suicide being seen by many experts as preventable, public health officials have a meaningful role in the play in the study of implementation of more effective treatment options. And according to mentalhealth.gov, it says some reports, here's some warning signs of suicides. Now, like he said one or a few, which was, it's not always high and low lows, and it's not always, super low. It's not always super high. Sometimes they be regular, like nothing's changed. You wouldn't even know. But some signs, just some blatant ones, talking about feeling isolated, withdrawn from friends and family, experiencing extreme mood swings, talking about or posting on social media about wanting to kill themselves, researching suicide methods, noticeable upticks in use of drugs, alcohol, excessive sleeping. Yeah, so those are yeah. Now, my next question to you was, what is your take on suicide being a lifelong battle? Do you feel as though, because I know watching the show, and I've heard people when they talk about mental disorders, and they'll say, well, this is a lifelong battle for me. Whereas me personally, it was a battle. It hasn't been a battle for me for many years, and I know it won't be again. But what is your take on that phrase that suicide is a lifelong battle?
Yeah, I think it's very contextual and very personal. For me, somebody asked me that on an interview. They said, "Do you think you'll ever think about it again?" And I said, honestly, I don't think so. I don't struggle with it often. It's not something that comes up anymore. So no, I can't imagine that I will. But we interviewed somebody, his name's Kevin Hines, and he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. He jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge with the intention of taking his life, and he ended up surviving. And when we interviewed him, he said, I still have days where I have to call somebody and say, hey, I'm thinking about hurting myself. So I really think that it depends on the trauma. It depends on the mindset. It depends on a lot of things. I think it's personal. For me, I don't think it'll happen again, but I do think for other people, it probably is more of a day-to-day battle. I'd say so.